Wow, look at that. This is just absolutely fantastic.
With such an amazing coastline, it's no surprise that many of us fantasize about living in a wonderful home by the sea.
We've got salt water in our veins. Us Brits just love being by the sea. We're drawn to it, as if by instinct. And you can't help falling in love with the sights, the sounds, the smells. It's magical.
I'm architectural designer Charlie Luxton, and this summer I had the pleasure of visiting some of Britain's most outstanding coastal properties. I'm covering the stories behind the seaside's most spectacular views.
Wow, look at that. That is fantastic.
And meeting people who've realised that ambition to have a home by the sea.
What a beautiful room. Floor to ceiling, wall to wall. That is great, isn't it? It's beautiful. Living by the sea has a magnetic appeal, and I've always known this, but it was really reinforced as I spent the summer travelling around the beautiful coastline of Britain, visiting dozens of fantastic homes.
My trip took me to the tidal estuaries of South Devon and England's frontier coast of Sussex and Kent. From Pembrokeshire's rugged cliffs and the deserted sandy beaches of Northumberland to the atmospheric salt marshes of Norfolk and misty sea locks on the Isle of Skye.
All the properties I visited had something about them that makes living by the sea so special. But if I was forced to choose, there were just a few that had a little extra magic. The first property I've chosen is in South Devon. It's a modern home that's so stylish it wouldn't look out of place in the Hollywood Hills, let alone the South Hams.
From the tree-lined driveway, it's possible to get the odd glimpse of the home I'm visiting, set deep amongst the ferns and lush foliage. But push through the branches and the truly spectacular Kowana Hall greets you. With its zinc butterfly roof and acres of glass, this home couldn't be more 21st century. But its origin and styling actually date back to the swinging 60s.
It's incredibly sort of un-English, un-British in so many ways. I'd expect to see that in sort of the canyons in LA.
Today it's owned by Gordon Craig, who is a local GP, and Tony Pithers, a former retail manager. And they've agreed to show me round their retro-inspired home.
We were down here on a very wet February weekend. We went into the estate agents and we looked in the window and we thought, wow, that place looks really unusual.
Yeah. I hadn't even seen the house, really. I hadn't been inside it. I said, I really want to live here. This is it. This is the house.
The style of this gleaming palace of glass and zinc takes its cue from the original home that once stood on the site. Built in 1962, the modernist architecture of Kowana Hall certainly caused a stir.
I can imagine myself sort of walking around, just sort of humming James Bond theme tunes as I kind of float around.
Well, there's been various names. James Bond's been one of them. Tracy Island is the other one. So Thunderbirds, you know.
Does it slide back?
Does it?
No, it would have been nice if it did.
What was it like when you first bought it?
It was very dilapidated.
So there were shingle panels on the wall, which is a very Devon thing, you know, the sort of little slate panels. When we replaced that with the zinc, there wasn't nearly as much glass. And the roof was made of felt and stuffed with straw for insulation.
Yeah, Stramit board.
Stramit board, that's it.
Stramit board. I've done a few 60s properties.
I've never come across
this
it.
much of straw pushed into a board. Freezing.
Yes.
Really?
Useless. Should we have a look around?
Yeah, of course.
Lovely.
Follow me.
The exterior is an explosion of angles. I can't wait to see inside.
What a fantastic space. That's great.
Tony and Gordon have used arrow-straight pine planks to clad the sloping ceiling.
I love the level changes and the way it kind of sort of slightly out of kilter with the roof.
The slanted roof also helps to divide what is effectively one big room into distinct functional areas. From the ultra-modern kitchen on one side of the incline to the master bedroom suite high on the other.
What was your brief to the architect?
We just said, what do you think would be good here? And he came back and said to us, well,
Knock it down
and actually build it in a similar style on the same footprint.
This 60s architecture is great. You know, actually, when it's done right, it's really great. And I think we don't value it enough. And it's really nice when you go, you know what? There was a real kind of creative flair.
The unique shape of the house means there is one room that defies gravity. Clinging precariously to the main house is the ensuite bathroom. Cantilevering from the chimney, this room could have been even more vertigo-inducing if Tony's initial plans had come to fruition.
So originally we had hoped to put a glass floor in here. Can you imagine that? That would have been really...
What, here? Glass floor. I find glass floors slightly eeky.
Scary?
Yeah. They are like you go, whoa. But no, you've got this view. Surely that's...
Well, we got the window, which does as well. You know, we can still parade ourselves in front of it if we want to.
As well as the couple's revealing ensuite, the 3 guest bedrooms at the opposite end of the house also have fabulous outlooks.
You've got 2 at the back, left and right, and then you've got this one over here, and this one overlooks the pool.
Wow, what a great view.
Isn't it wonderful?
Look at that!
Amazing, isn't it?
That's lovely.
And it's not just Gordon and Tony who get to appreciate magnificent Kowana Hall. They run a boutique bed and breakfast utilising their 3 spare bedrooms.
Wow, now that's my kind of B&B.
There you are.
That is my kind of B&B. Beautiful.
And while I'm not staying as a guest, I am keen to sample a fry-up.
Oh, they smell lovely.
No full English at this time of day, though. Fresh scallops and chorizo is on the menu instead.
What I think is genius about the original design and what you've done with it, it feels very homely. I mean, it's uncompromisingly modern, but it feels like a really nice house just to live in.
It's just a very comfortable space and comfortable place to be.
Well, thank you very much for having me and showing me around. It's a lovely house.
It's been great to
You're
meet
very
you.
welcome.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good food, good wine, and a chance to soak up the hazy summer sunshine. But Kowana Hall was just a starter on my journey around Britain's best seaside homes. Later,
Wow, what a space.
this stunning fortress home on the Kent coast that blew me away.
That is bonkers.
And how I got a taste for 21st century crofting on the beautiful Isle of Skye.
I mean, it is probably one of the most stylish crofts I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's the triumph of
design and beauty. The British coastline stretches for a staggering 20,000 miles. That meant I had plenty of places and properties to choose from during my summer quest to find fabulous seaside homes.
You can stick a pin almost anywhere along our coastline and you'll find an historic building with a rich story to tell. And if it's not still being used for its original purpose, the chances are that somebody will have transformed it into an incredible seaside home.
Throughout history, the Kent and Sussex coastline has been in the front line of the country's battle against intruders. And here on the edge of the Romney Marshes, one man, Guy Ruddy, has used a piece of this region's history to create the most extraordinary home.
How did you end up living specifically here?
Well, I found an unusual pile of bricks and decided to convert it into a house. More for me, maybe.
And there are around 1.2 million bricks in this particular pile. Rising above the seawall, this imposing former fortress is Guy's home. It's one of 140 Martello towers that were built in the early 19th century to keep Napoleon at bay. But Lord Nelson's victory over the French meant it was never needed. And aside from being used as a watchtower during World War II, the 30-foot building stood empty for nearly 200 years.
What did it actually cost you?
£23,333.
When?
In 1987. And it's taken me probably up till very recently, when you can actually see the rendering was done last year, so it's now finished.
They're not actually circular, are they? They're more sort of an oval.
They're elliptical, the egg-shaped. The wall on the seaward side is up to 14 foot thick, and on the land side is up to 6 foot thick.
So it kind of gets fatter where the cannonballs
absolutely.
are going.
If it's being attacked from the sea, the idea was that they weren't going to penetrate it.
They take their name from similar fortifications that existed at Mortella Point in Corsica.
That's pretty imposing, isn't it, from down here?
And 103 towers were built along the southeast coast. 45 still remain. And this is number 23.
This is the original 200-year-old oak front door.
So this was the front door, designed to repel the French?
Yeah, I've had to sort of clean it up a bit. And when I was digging the old floor up, I found the original ladder chute, which they would have shut the door and pulled the ladder up to stop the French getting in.
So the ladder would have slid up through here?
Absolutely.
And then shut the door, no one's getting in?
Nope.
That's ingenious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, what a space.
The first floor of this Grade 2 listed building would once have been divided into living quarters for the garrison. Now it's a magnificent open-plan kitchen and dining area. Guy has done most of the restoration himself, and there are some beautiful original features.
I've seen the original plans, and apparently they built the structure to there. They then filled the whole building with sand. Then they would have put a lime mortar on top of it to harden it. Then they laid the bricks on, probably half a dozen layers of bricks. And then once they'd finished, they would have dug out, probably I've worked out about 100 tons of sand.
That is bonkers.
If building it was difficult enough, renovating it was no picnic either.
I learnt to lay bricks, I learnt to do a bit of carpentry,
Because this floor can't have been, I mean, nothing is easy in a circular building, is it? I mean, designing it's not easy, building it's not easy, joinery's not easy.
I went through quite a few jigsaw blades over the years cutting various bits round.
And the challenges continued on the floor below, where Guy created a spare bedroom and bathroom, all on a curve in a windowless space. It's quite an achievement. But the real showstopper of this clever conversion is at the very top of the tower.
Whoa, what a space. Wow, what a view.
This wonderful theatre of light has 32 separate windows. A solid oak vaulted ceiling supported by one central beam.
When did you get this roof on? When was this? Because this is a complete transformation of it. It's never had a roof before.
No, it took 5 years to get permission because obviously you are changing the look of what is a fortress. And, you know, it's all oak, it's all very solid. It's supposed to look rugged, and that's what I think I've got.
The fact that you've got a 360-degree view, beach running all the way down there, that is just fantastic.
Here's a building designed to defend a nation, but never called to arms. 200 years later, thanks to the determination of one man, it's been given a new life.
One thing that struck me about all the people that I met on my travels is that they seem to have a genuine pioneering spirit. And my time on the beautiful and rugged Isle of Skye really sums that up.
Lying on Scotland's rugged northwest coast, Skye's a notoriously challenging place to call home. But plenty of people are drawn to its wild beauty, including a couple who have given the traditional croft house a 21st century update. With a design that has as little impact on the landscape as possible.
And you can see how successful they've been, because that little slither of a building just poking over that hillock, well, that's their home.
From this angle, its low-profile appearance gives the impression of an unassuming, modest dwelling. But this home is anything but humble. It's a stunning panoramic house, spreading out section by glorious section to form a linear one-storey building, sparkling with reflective glass. For owners Ian McLean and Robbie Panchich, it's more than just a place to live. It's the heart of their 21st century croft, a new take on Skye's long tradition of living off the land. And they've agreed to give me a taste.
That is a fantastic view. I mean, that is awesome. Floor to ceiling, wall to wall. That is great, isn't it? Why did you end up here? I mean, what brought you to Skye?
Well, we came to Skye a few times on holidays. Seemed to be just drawn by
fell in love with the island, and we were captured by it.
Fed up with stressful IT and finance careers in London, Robbie and Ian gave them up to create a more sustainable, self-sufficient way of life.
When you came up here, had you found this place?
No, we didn't have anywhere.
So you just literally jacked your jobs in?
Yes.
Moved up here? No, you hadn't found it, you hadn't bought a house, you hadn't...
When we resigned from our jobs and then we sold our house, we put everything into storage
and put everything
and what we could into the back of our Mini, and we drove up to Skye. And
Back of a Mini? It's not a lot of stuff, is it?
But crofting means being ready for whatever the elements throw at you. With sun one minute, a howling gale the next, there's no place here for architectural vanity. And with its resilient larch cladding and Caithness stone brought in from the mainland, Cliff House has been built to withstand its hostile environment and revel in all the drama the landscape holds.
What I think works really well about this house is that by stripping the architecture down into just the most simple, like roof, floor, walls, and view, it kind of makes that view much more important, doesn't it? It really draws the whole room to that.
Yes.
Inside, it's really one 115 square metre pod with kitchen and living space seamlessly combined. The two bedrooms are tucked together on the side of the main living space, alongside a luxury bathroom. But it has to be practical, and the concrete floor ties in with its agricultural roots.
Because it's a working croft, so we want the house to be simple.
This is the thing about using proper, solid materials, and when it wears, it's part of the story. Do you know what I mean? I think it really kind of adds to the kind of general character of the building.
Yeah, you get all these textures and marks, and it ages. A bit like a wooden table, isn't it? So
a bit like a person, you know, like wrinkles and scars and marks, you know, the memory of things that you've done.
But while the house is a triumph, it's only half the great adventure here.
Come on, ducks.
Their brave new life on Skye will succeed or fail on what they produce from the land.
These are Hebrideans.
For Scotsman Ian, who was born and bred 100 miles down the road in Fort William, it's a chance to return to his homeland and put a modern spin on the traditional crofting way of life.
It's quite a kind of undertaking, looking after livestock. What's your experience?
No experience. So it's total novices. We had our first go at using an electric shear on the sheep, and it was exhausting work.
It took about 30-40 minutes per sheep.
How long should it take? A couple of minutes?
Couple of minutes, yeah. Come on in.
The enthusiasm of these two is intoxicating, and so is the scale of their ambition.
I mean, it is probably one of the most stylish crofts I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's the triumph of design and beauty. I mean, it's completely designed around that stunning view. So, I mean, I suppose whatever the weather, that makes the most of it. That makes it an event.
Yeah.
And that was our aim, was to be part of the weather and nature, feel as close as we can, but still have the sort of comfort and security of being in the home.
I love what Ian and Robbie have created on Skye, risking all and raising the bar as a bold new architectural revolution takes hold on the island. The next home on my list was a world away from the rugged landscape of Skye. On England's south coast, I had the chance to tour an opulent Regency home on Brighton's famous seafront.
So this is a bathroom. I know it's small, but, you know, we like it.
And I discover how an iconic coastal building has been given a contemporary update in Norfolk.
Wow. Wow.
So here it is.
Oh, look.
It's a pretty amazing view, isn't it?
My journey around the fantastic coastline of Britain this summer took me to wonderful homes in some breathtaking locations.
Whatever the weather, there's something mesmerising about the sea, and it's this, and perhaps the fish and chips, that keep drawing us Brits back to our famous old seaside resorts. I went to Brighton, one of the coolest and most cosmopolitan, to find some Regency wonder.
Vibrant, colourful, creative, there's nothing dull about this town, especially its architecture. From the opulent royal pavilion built for George IV, to the villas and townhouses along the seafront.
This is Brunswick Square and Brunswick Terrace. It's one of the great pieces of Regency master planning and architecture.
The Regency style encapsulates elegance and a lightness of touch, and it was all the rage in the Georgian period of the late 18th and early 19th centuries. And I've been invited to explore a Regency residence on the seafront that's been restored to its former glory.
Hello. Hello. Hello, Phil. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
This grand residence began life as one of 6 show homes on the estate, but was then divided into 9 separate bedsits.
The Georgians knew how to make a really good staircase, didn't they? I mean, this is beautiful.
But owner Phil spent 3 years lovingly restoring it back to a single house.
Look at this. What a beautiful room. I mean, this must have been like the height of Georgian sophistication and taste.
Absolutely. I mean, these places were built to show off.
The Georgians were kind of got it right, didn't they, in terms of decoration, in that this room is highly decorative.
Yep.
I mean, these amazing plaster panels, the cornicing, the coving is incredibly ornate, but somehow they pull it off.
Yeah, there's an awful lot here, but it doesn't feel overwhelming.
Working with a small team of craftspeople, Phil painstakingly stripped back years of paint and modifications, revealing and restoring some exquisite original features. There's the Rococo-style wall panel with fleur-de-lis patterns. Exquisitely detailed cornicing of acanthus and palm leaf form the ceiling's borders. And the floor is oak parquet with mahogany edging.
These rooms, these sort of piano noble, I think it's called, isn't it? The kind of the entertaining rooms. Is that how you use the space?
For me, it only makes sense really when there's people in here enjoying it. We allow people to get married here. We have special events here. It's used as film locations. And every time something comes in, for me, the house suddenly comes alive.
I can certainly imagine this ornate reception room full of people. But as well as a space for hire, this is also Phil's home. It just so happens his personal places are equally as lavish.
Okay, so this would have been the master bedroom and bathroom.
So this is a bathroom. This is an original Regency bathroom.
I know, it's small, but you know, we like it.
And plain. All this decoration.
I know.
In a bathroom.
It's ridiculous. I mean, this bit always reminds me of the back of a ship.
I mean, this is all beautiful. I mean, this is mahogany.
Yes.
Inside.
Indeed.
Painted on the outside.
I know. It's strange, isn't it? And this room is built specific just to show the different finishes available, the different units, different styles that are available. There isn't one moulding here that is the same.
I mean, surely this is one of the most opulent bathrooms in Christendom. I mean, this is ludicrous.
In the whole of Christendom.
I would have thought so. I mean, this is ludicrous. So this is your bedroom?
Yes.
So this is your view from bed?
It's pretty good, isn't it?
These windows, they look like they're double glazed.
Yeah, Regency double glazing.
Look at that. Yeah, that is unusual, isn't it?
If that isn't enough, then they have these sliding shutters.
So you've got 4 moving sashes.
Absolutely, yeah.
1, 2, inside, outside. In what condition were these in then?
We haven't stripped these at all.
Well, they were just like that?
And
they slid and they were still weighted?
No, we had to do all the mechanism, but as far as the actual items were concerned, it looked like they'd never had a bit of paint put on them in their lives.
So amazing.
I mean, the house is beautiful, but I think the best feature is the outside, is the sea.
It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. What a beautiful house.
Phil's home is a classic piece of British seaside architecture with a truly timeless appeal.
Coastal buildings don't come more iconic than the lighthouse, guiding the fishing fleet safely back into harbour. But I found a lighthouse in Norfolk that's no longer used and has been converted into the most gorgeous modern home.
Towering over the dunes at Winterton-on-Sea, the lighthouse is owned by architect Sally McKerrith.
Standing here, it looks like it's been like that forever, but I mean, you've done a lot of work to get it looking like that.
Yeah, it hasn't looked like that forever. There was something here in around 1560, which was just a sort of timber-braced tower with a bonfire on top, which used to give ships safe passage. Actually, this lighthouse is mentioned in Robinson Crusoe, which is pretty cool.
Your house is in Robinson Crusoe?
Yeah, really.
That's all right, isn't it?
Totally.
Yeah.
It was in use until 1921, when it became a private residence. And I've arrived in time to bed down for the night.
So this is when you know you're in a lighthouse. Well, the big sign tells you for a start, but you sort of, this is amazing. Look at these wonderful kind of, it's very sort of industrial, isn't it?
The tower is just 15 foot in diameter, but it's a charming space. I love the references to its history, and the curved walls and spiral stairs make its former use unmistakable. But it was a very different story when Sally and husband Julian bought it 9 years ago.
It didn't feel at all like a lighthouse, it was just
Even
a
though
regular
it was
room.
circular?
Yeah, but I do remember walking in and immediately seeing that
Beautiful stairs.
cantilevered stair. Oh, and I think there was wallpaper on the ceilings, actually. I mean, it It didn't look like this at all, but I could see, as I said, the bones of it were there. There was something very exciting about it.
In addition to renovating the main tower, Sally's added a contemporary extension, clad in cedar with large folding doors, out to a landscaped garden. This greying wooden box contrasts with the gleaming white tower and houses a stunning kitchen complete with curved worktops and a view to the dome above. But inevitably, it's the original lighthouse I'm keen to explore.
So did you get fit living in a lighthouse?
Absolutely. I mean, if you forget something at the top, it's a long way down.
A lot of steps.
The 70-foot tower has been divided into 4 floors. On the first floor is the children's bedroom with inbuilt cabin bunks and a beautiful window seat. On the second floor, there's the master bedroom.
I love this kind of grey column that runs right through the middle of the house.
Yeah, we put that in. Obviously, there's an issue with when you've got people sleeping all in the tower. Absolutely.
Yes.
If one of you needs the loo in the night, then...
Come right past here.
Well, the whole point was to somehow find a way to separate each room.
Sally's solution to this privacy problem is ingenious as well as stylish.
So there's basically 2 sliding leaves. So this draws across.
Oh, that's
and then
nice.
the second one draws across. And
Oh, that's nice.
cocoons you.
When Sally brought the lighthouse, the top of the tower was just an old concrete lookout post left over from World War I. But she wanted to create a space worthy of this magnificent building and make the most of the fabulous views, and so commissioned this beautiful dome.
Wow. Wow.
So here it is.
Oh, look.
The lantern room. It's a pretty amazing view, isn't it?
I mean, it's incredible. It's beautiful.
And actually at night when it's inky black and the only lights really are from the fishermen, here we are all, snug and tucked up in bed and those guys are out there fishing. I mean, incredible.
Once again, Sally's used nautical features as key points in the design, so you are surrounded with reminders of the building's history. And there's one final treat in store.
Where does this go? I'm gonna have a look. Can I have a look?
Actually, it's where you're sleeping tonight.
Up here?
Up there, under the dome.
Right. Oh, wow. That is phenomenal. I love the way the glass continues right around, so you get a full 360-degree view. That is fantastic. Oh, what's this thing here?
So that dial connects to the gold weather vane on the top.
So it tells you the direction of the wind from bed?
It does. Rather pointlessly, you can lie in bed and see which way the wind's blowing. I made it myself, I'm proud to say. It's actually based on an original design. They would have been enamel in the old days on the original lighthouses.
I think it's useful to know which way the wind's blowing from bed. I think that's kind of every person's right and need.
There's a storm of ruin.
There is.
It really is a unique space. And as I call it a night and the darkness draws in around me, it's like no other place I've ever laid my head. Two very different seaside homes make up the final choices from my summer journey around Britain. One's the renovated fisherman's cottage in Devon that's so close to the water's edge it turns an estuary view into an infinity pool.
Somehow just being in here and having it framed like that is stunning.
The other's a space-age home from the future that's touched down in the heart of the Pembrokeshire Coast National Park.
It's referred to as the Teletubby house.
How do you feel about that?
Enormously happy.
My travels around the UK coast made me realise how much both its landscape and its buildings are in a constant state of flux. although its timeless attraction as a place to call home remains the same.
With their narrow lanes and jumble of quaint cottages, it's no surprise that our old fishing villages have become a real magnet for people looking for seaside homes with character. Now in Lympstone in South Devon, I visited an old fisherman's cottage that is so close to the sea that the waves break against its walls.
On a calm day like today, Lympstone's a tranquil, sleepy place. I'm here to meet Nancy Cruikshank, whose estuary cottage is by definition as close to a seaside home as you can get. Traditionally built for fishermen or chandlers, these pretty 2 up 2 downs are now the kind of holiday home many hanker for. And I'm keen to see how it's been adapted for the 21st century.
I mean, that is right on the waterfront, isn't it? I mean, you don't get any closer than that.
Well, I think living here, it's all about the sort of relationship with the water, being close by. You can have days like today where it's incredibly calm. It's almost eerie to be out here.
It is beautiful. I mean, it's like you can hardly see where the sea ends and the sky starts.
And there are days when you come out of here and it is wild.
And when the weather turns, Nancy's home isn't so much on the front line of the village's sea defences, it is the front line.
Look at this gate. So you really
Floodgates.
do. That is industrial, isn't it?
They're essential. There are about 10 people in the village who look after the floodgate. So occasionally I'll arrive at the house and the floodgate is closed. And you know then that the water is going to either be up very, very high that evening, or it's, you know, you look just over the top and wow, it's right there.
It's up the front of the gate.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You better hope that at least one of the 10 is in the town when the time comes, because it,
yes,
you know, it doesn't wait, does it? Well, I've heard about tide. It doesn't really wait for anyone, does it? Should we go and have a look inside?
Absolutely, come on in.
Nancy, who runs her own beauty business in London, bought the 200-year-old cottage as a cosy seaside escape for her family. The interior design has certainly taken its cue from the habitat just outside the window. From ornamental wading birds to nautical motifs, it creates a link between the waterside rooms and their surroundings. Whether it's low tide or high tide.
Wow, look at that view. I mean, you get a sense of it from outside, but somehow just being in here and having it framed like that is stunning. So it must be incredible here when a storm's kind of blowing in.
Earlier this year, when the weather really was quite wild, the water came up as high as just 2 or 3 inches below the windowsill. And
just below the windowsill?
Just below the windowsill.
And it didn't come through the wall?
It didn't come through the wall. The tanking held firm. It was completely watertight. And of course, that water wasn't still water. So that was really rolling around, crashing into the house.
Crashing up against the windows?
Crashing up into the stone and onto the windows. And then the spray was coming up over the top of the cottage.
Upstairs, there are 3 bedrooms squeezed into this 140 square metre cottage.
That's nice, isn't it?
But the generous master bedroom, combined with Nancy's interior styling, makes it feel more spacious than it really is.
So this is your master bedroom?
Yeah.
I love this this big vaulted ceiling. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I love the beams as well, that feeling of kind of double height and space, and you know, it's a real escape for us down here. So it just needs to feel light and airy and
kind of calm.
Yeah, easy, breathable. I feel it very physically when I walk in here. I think my kids feel it as well, that it's just, you know, low-key, family time, you know, and it's really a breath of fresh air.
I can imagine it's quite a good place to sort of have thoughts, to sort of get away from it and just think deeply. We
really fell in love, actually. We really did fall in love with the coastline, the whole area. and the house itself.
I can see why.
You know, right now, this is just perfect.
The final home on this nostalgic look back is also quite possibly my favourite. Especially given its amazing clifftop location in Britain's only coastal national park.
To get planning permission to build by the sea is hard. To get planning permission to build in an area of outstanding natural beauty, well, that is nearly impossible. And it takes a design which is both sympathetic to the environment and has real architectural quality. A place like Malator on the beautiful Pembrokeshire coast.
This is a home so well camouflaged amongst the gorse, you could almost head along the coastal path and walk right by. But when you do eventually spot this architectural chameleon, it blows you away. I suppose, strictly speaking, Malator is a 3-bedroom seaside bungalow, but built into the hillside overlooking beautiful St Bride's Bay, this is unlike any bungalow you'll have seen before. Retired MP Bob Marshall-Andrews is the man who calls this place home.
What's it like being here in the winter?
Well, it's not like this. I mean, it's...
He's agreed to give me a guided tour of this futuristic cliff-top property.
Those glass windows, which are 12 foot high, move an inch in the wind.
So the whole thing kind of bows as the wind blows?
It's bowing in an inch. First time it happens, it's very alarming.
The bespoke windows overlooking the bay are the home's most striking feature. However, with its green roof and jaunty steel chimney, Malator has earned a rather endearing nickname.
It's referred to universally as the Teletubby house.
How do you feel about that?
Enormously happy. Enormously happy. I mean, I don't actually go out and do the sort of tinky-winky or dipsy.
Bob, I can see the onesie.
The onesie.
How did you find this incredible location? Because, I mean, the way that it kind of sits in the bay, almost perfectly with the two kind of headlands coming around either side.
It's pure serendipity. I started coming down to Pembrokeshire many, many years ago, and I started to explore the county, and I loved it. I still do love it. I mean, I still, my heart sings whenever I cross the border. It is, I think, the last really unspoiled county. But we used to look at this place. It was a converted Nissen hut. And I used to think it was wonderful. The position was wonderful. And then I found out that it had been for sale for years. And nobody wanted it.
Nobody wanted it?
Nobody wanted it. I couldn't understand it. What people were doing, they were looking this way at the house. I mean, and nobody was looking that way.
Malator was designed by architects Jan Kaplitsky and Amanda Levitt, famous for iconic buildings like Birmingham's Selfridges store and the media centre at Lord's Cricket Ground.
Shall we look around?
Let's look around.
There are a few straight lines, or even corners here.
This is beautiful, isn't it? Just the curves. Everywhere you look, like this curve, wrapping round, it just sort of never stops, does it?
It's the curve. I mean, I think that's very special.
The colourful prefab pods house the bathrooms and help divide up the open plan space between the central living area and the 3 bedrooms.
They came in just like that, with the shower, bathroom, and
all finished.
And everything else, all finished.
I mean, that must have been quite a view, this kind of fluorescent yellow pod driving through the Pembrokeshire countryside.
Well, yes. I mean, it's alarming.
And even on those grey days, the rear windows and glass door coax in light and help prevent the central living space from feeling gloomy. However, it's the 12-foot-high glazing on the seaward elevation that creates Malator's standout moment.
I mean, this view is extraordinary, isn't it? And I love the fact the entire house is being designed around making the most of this view.
You notice the view more when you are in here than when you do outside. I mean, because of course it has a frame.
Like any piece of wonderful architecture, this simple, functional home has become more than a place to live. It's a work of art.
It's sort of otherworldly sort of spaciness, it's sort of 60s space vision, makes it sort of timeless.
Well, I think the reason for that is because it is so sympathetic to its landscape. It sits so comfortably into the landscape now that it's here, and that's what gives it the ageless quality.
I mean, it's a beautiful house. My journey around the British coastline has given me a real taste for the richness and variety of architecture that surrounds our islands. I've seen some amazing homes and met some people who have a real passion and love of the sea. But the best bit is, there's still so much more to explore.